everyone. So I'm going to be doing another video today on Shehnaaz Gill, the wonderful ray of sunshine that we have come to know and love. I still don't know that much about her at all, except for the things that I have said on my channel, some of my previous videos, and I just honestly, energetically, she seems like an absolute wonderful person. She's definitely someone that you would want on your side, someone that would, is a really wonderful friend. She's a supportive friend, she's a kind friend, she's understanding, she's mature, she's wise, she has a lot of really good sage advice, and there's not anything you could ever say that's negative about her. She lives in her authentic truth, and she's someone that I think is worthy of being admired for exactly who she is. And so what am I getting here today as far as my reading goes? I feel like her spirituality is deepening. Okay, I feel like because of the circumstances that had happened between her and Siddharth, it has brought her deeper into the awareness of who she is as a soul and less about the attachments of the world. It's allowed her to really see things in a broader perspective than she was able to do before. When he was here, as much of a blessing as it was, there was a lot of distractions between the two of them. I feel like she was very focused on the relationship. I see an emphasis on her being concerned about him and wanting to make sure that she does or says the right thing as far as not upsetting him. Maybe if he was a jealous guy or a possessive guy when he was here, she didn't want him to feel insecure or uncomfortable and unsafe with, you know, her, how bright she shines, right? Because there's a lot of people who admire her, and not only is that evident to the people around and to her fans, but I think Siddharth, since I feel there's a very special connection there, he sees it even bigger. And as he was in this life, some of those ended up being blocks for him, right? Which we all have blocks in our life, especially compared to who we are as souls, right? That's just a normal process of being here on earth and having our life experiences and everything. So what I can compare this to is if we were all in a room, like all of us and Shehnaaz were in a room, and it's a dark room, and we're looking at the things around us. We're reaching and trying to just determine what's around us, right? Siddharth is acting as if he is the flashlight for her. So with that flashlight, she's able to see even further. She could see images further away from her that are a lot sharper. And so he is that vessel, that channel to sharpen her spiritual gifts, her spiritual nature, her spiritual side, that's bringing her closer to God, that's bringing her closer to herself ultimately. And I do feel like I can identify layers of Siddharth, and what I see in these layers are different layers of awareness of how he feels towards her. All the awareness is that he's absolutely adores her and is in love with her, and forever will be, because they forever have been. And so the awareness varies from like lower levels, like lower awareness, and by that I mean like closer to earth, And those levels of awareness or consciousness are wanting her to be happy. They want her to, they meaning him, he wants her to explore different relationships, explore different careers, and push herself in a healthy way, of course, challenge herself in advancing herself in her career so that she can have this full spectrum of a life experience. He wants her to feel it all and do it all, and know that he's always supporting her. He's always here. She can always reach for him. She can always connect to him. He will always support her in every avenue that she chooses. It's unconditional support and love for her. And again, I believe I've been saying this in my, because it feels consistent for me, but for her to at least desire or look for, or stay, not looking for, but stay open to the possibility of having a relationship with children. So a steady marriage, or some sort of deepening of a romantic relationship with someone. What I see is, again, because I want to say this is her again because it feels like repetitive to me, of stars. There's something about stars and her sitting side by side with someone on a hill looking at stars is how it's coming across to me. And it's like they're on location, like somewhere else than where she's normally at. And I heard the word Hollywood. I heard Hollywood. And then I see her in red. I see an image of her in red. And then I'm seeing a dot, like a dot on someone else's forehead. It's an older woman with graying hair. She hasn't dyed her hair, so it's natural. So she's older. It's gray hair and a dot on her forehead, like a red dot. And it feels like she's a leader of some type. Like she's either an elder in her life, in Shehnaaz's life, or it feels like an elder, like someone who, maybe like a spiritual leader who's advising her on her life and is giving her good guidance and is helping her, again, deepen her spirituality. And this is all very positive. It's being acknowledged as being something very positive. And I'm seeing a lot of good health changes. So people around Shehnaaz are encouraging her to take up different activities, like maybe yoga or lifting weights, whatever kind of exercise, eating different foods that are nourishing for her. Maybe even like, what do people like, like some people eat like alkaline foods, like something like that, where it's a purposeful way of eating. And the people around her are very supportive of her. She has a really good core group of family and friends that are genuinely looking after her and genuinely caring about her and her needs and desires, and equally protective, not equally protective, no one will ever be as protective as Siddharth, even in an energetic way. It's like in life and in energy, he is going to be the most protective. That's just his nature. That's who he is. And he's acknowledging that she's mischievous. She's mischievous, and that she's it's in a cute way, like an innocent way. And he's saying that this is something new on her soul. Like she has not, it feels like he's saying like she's always been a good girl. Like through lifetime, she's always been a good girl. And it's this lifetime, and I'm being pulled towards possibly a father figure. But this is what instilled her ability. Like it woke up a part of her that's goes against the grain, like challenges beliefs, challenges people, and is like she stands up for herself, right? But she's also one who will push the envelope a little bit, and it's not in a malicious way. It's always in a respectable way, and she never means harm by it. It's just, like one of her personality quirks that makes her, more lovable. It's just something about her. But he's saying that that's actually something new, relatively new, but he thinks that's kind of funny. He thinks it's kind of funny. And he's saying, like, in a way, he's like, she gets that from me. Like, I don't know where she gets that from, but she gets it from me. Like that. And he's acknowledging, like, he's, like, making a joke, like, we're gonna have to correct that. Like, we're gonna have to, like, rein it back in. But it's in a teasing way, So it's like if you're like being mischievous with one of your friends and poking at them, and then they poke back, and then you poke them back even more, and then they assert themselves like, you know what? Like, enough is enough. Like, sit down, young lady. Like, but you're just joking, right? You don't actually, like, you don't mean it in a mean-spirited way. It's like that. Yeah, it's really sweet and funny and cute. And the reason why I'm posing my video in this way, where I'm talking to you guys, the audience, rather than Shehnaaz herself, and why I even brought the mischievous side up, well, it's a multitude of things, because he's acknowledging it. It has to do with other things in her life. It also has something to do with these online readings that you guys are watching. What I feel is being highlighted that is part of her mischievous side is that she's watching some of these videos. Like, I feel like there's like astrology videos, or like some sort of like birth chart videos, which I've seen it recommended. I haven't watched anything like that, but since I post these videos, then it'll start recommending it to me. And I feel like some of those are the ones that she's watching. I don't know necessarily if she's seen anything of mine that pertain to her. I feel like if anything, she would have heard about it from a third party, or someone who's saying something very similar to me, right? Like someone's picking up on the same things that I am, something like that. I don't know specifically if she's ever seen any of my videos on her. Now, the thing about it is, her people close to her are telling her not to do that. They're telling her that it's not good for her heart, and I mean that in the sense that it's not good for not just emotionally her heart, but also her physical heart. So it's like it's like very nurturing. It's just funny because it feels very traditional. Like if your mom like tells you like to wear a jacket even though it's not cold outside, it's like, well, you're gonna catch a cold if you don't wear a jacket. You're like, Mom, it's fine. It's not like everyone's outside wearing short sleeves and shorts. I don't need to wear it. So it's being proactive, but a little bit overbearing, but not, it doesn't necessarily feel overbearing. You know what I mean? So they're saying, oh, it's not good for your heart. We need to take care of you. Like, we need to take care of your heart, health-wise, just stuff like that. And she's like, okay, yeah, it's fine. And she kind of watches here and there. And so that just kind of plays into, like, again, it's so cute though. Like, I think everything about her, energetically, everything I pick up is like so adorable. Like, she's just really a really exceptionally wonderful person. So that's to kind of highlight again. So it's like, well, she's not watching these videos anyway. And normally the reason why I make my videos as if I'm talking to the person is because it's easier for my brain to pick up the information and process it. And yet for this particular video, it actually feels more natural to be talking to the audience than it does to be talking to her. So that's why it's a little bit different this time. Just to clarify. So I'm seeing a dragonfly, okay? I'm seeing a dragonfly. Actually, I'm not sure. It looks like a bug. I'll show you what kind of, it's, why I said a dragonfly is because it has a head. I don't know if it's going to pick up, but it has a head, like a long body, and then it feels like it has wings, right? Like translucent wings. And then I was going to say a butterfly. I don't think it's a butterfly though. Like a yellow butterfly. Because I intentionally chose yellow because I felt drawn to yellow for her. I think that's two parts. I would look up the symbolic meaning of a yellow butterfly. And I feel like it's potentially a dragonfly. So maybe a symbolic meaning of a dragonfly, which I feel it has to do with determination and transformation. Because I feel like she has been transforming. And she's more solid, like her soul feels more solid. She's more self-assured in who she is, what her journey is. It's a deepening of her understanding of the world in a very, it's a heightened awareness of everything. I don't know if she would identify herself as a psychic necessarily, but I would put her in the same category as one, right? Like she knows this information. And she had felt this information before when he was still here, but as he has passed, he has been able to guide her and unlock that part of her that has made her believe and know. It's one thing to have those practices instilled in you and have this yearning and working towards it or believing it. You know, like you can believe something but not experience something biblical or religious or some sort of experience like that, right? Otherworldly, I guess. But I feel like there's been a shift and a continual shift that has allowed her the ability to know for certain the things that I say, right? And the things that psychics across the board believe, and to understand her, again, like whatever her spiritual practices or belief, is it Hinduism in India? The majority? I don't know. Either way, whatever it is, She's able to decipher and understand it on the level of someone deeply enlightened. Okay? This dragonfly or bug is going into a fruit. It feels like someone's holding the fruit. And I'm not sure symbolically what that means. They're holding a fruit. I don't know what the fruit is. It's an orange, like a clementine, grapefruit, maybe pomegranate. I don't know. It's something round. It could be some other tropical fruit, like it would be tropical here in the United States. Dragon fruit. I have no idea. Something round is going into it, and someone's holding it, but people are happy about it. Happy about it going into this fruit. I feel like that's a symbol for something. I don't know if that's necessarily something that's happening like in real life. I also feel like there might be a symbol to a fruit tree or fruit plant. Like maybe Siddharth and her share a plant together, or she's honored him by planting a plant, like a fruit tree. People are gifting her fruit. I don't know. But there's something there. Could even be something as small as a cherry, right? Okay, and then I see a proposal happening, but the proposal looks like it, not looks, but it feels fake to me. And so what I'm thinking that means is maybe that she's going to be in a movie. Like maybe there's a movie that's going to be coming out that she will be involved in that has to do with someone proposing to her in the movie. And now I'm being drawn to a guy. I'm not sure how all of this relates or if it relates, so I'm just telling you how it's coming to me without making connections. Okay, so I see a guy. He's really light-skinned. He feels like he's probably Indian. I don't know though. He doesn't feel white. Like he doesn't feel like a white guy. So if he was a foreigner, like foreign from America, like he's not American, I can say that. But he's really light skinned, like almost like this seashell, like this part of the seashell. And he has like a short face, and like his eyes they're not beady eyes necessarily, but they're almost beady looking. And I don't know if I mentioned, his face is like short. It's kind of wide, but the features are small. Like his nose, he doesn't have a really big nose. He doesn't have like a really big chin or anything. Like it's like softer features. Like if you compare it to Siddharth has like a narrow, chiseled face. And then this guy would have like a shorter face than Siddharth and wider face than Siddharth. And his eyes are smaller. Like it's smaller. He has like small features. I don't know who this is or the association here, but it doesn't feel good. I feel like Siddharth is highlighting this, which I want to also touch on why I keep talking about him with regards to these two, with regards to Shehnaaz. Not only because of his significance as being like the love of her life in this lifetime and beyond, in many different forms, but I do feel as if he has crossed over peacefully. He has attained a more soulful form of all that he has ever been and who he is, if that makes sense. And so this isn't to say that his energy as Siddharth is kind of lingering here. He has successfully and completely crossed. But that's not to say that the people who have crossed over cannot communicate with us, right? That there aren't parts of them that can still reach us, energetically reach us, that we can't energetically touch onto. And I feel, because I don't control the information that comes through, I didn't sit down intentionally looking for information from him, but his energy is the one that wants to come through. Him and this female. I mean, she's not a spirit. I don't feel like, I think she's in real life. And it feels like a leader, like a spiritual leader or a spiritual teacher, or if she would have taken up a yoga practice or some sort of thing where she's learning something, then it would be that person. Or it could be like a family friend or someone new that's close to her, or like a deepening of relationship with someone that she's just learning from, something like that. Those are the energies that are wanting to come through. Her guardian angels, Siddharth is a guardian angel to her now, but her guardian angels, they're ushering her through this new life. Like, this is a new life for her. This unrestrained, unbound life. And whatever she decides to do is really up to her. Like, I feel like she's free to do whatever she wants, because the things that were like key points in her life have completed. And so now it's about her enjoying her life and reaching new heights that Siddharth is also helping facilitate in her life. So it's more about enjoying herself and challenging herself as a person, and hopefully, and this is up to her, so it's really whether she decides to have this in her life or not, once she's emotionally available and ready to be open to the potential of a relationship and having a child. I feel like it's a daughter, but it's having a child, if she doesn't already have a child. If she has a child, then it's acknowledging and focusing on a child. Yeah. So this guy that I was talking about, there's some resentment there being brought up about, resentment isn't the word. It's more of, because Siddharth is, again, he's peacefully transitioned. There's no resentment there. It's more of acknowledgement that something is amiss with this guy, where he welcomed the passing of Siddharth, whatever that means. It's like he would have been glad in some ways. I don't know if this is someone out in the public. I don't know if this is something that has been talked about. like if you guys would know who I'm talking about. I don't know his role in society. But he's associated, it feels like he's associated with celebrities, or he's associated with these people. Like he's associated with her and him. And so it's like Siddharth is highlighting that. So it's, again, it's not resentment. It's more like highlighting this fact to verify and confirm with her, because I feel like she already knows this and she feels like there's something going on with this guy, there's something wrong with this guy, and that she should be aware of this, because it's like this guy would want to get close to her, or is wanting to get closer to her, is wanting something from her, out of her, something like that, and she has her guard up. But I feel like there might be some well-intentioned people in her life that are potentially going, I don't know the timeline of this, but they're going to want to like have her go against her better judgment, because they aren't as aware, like their intuition isn't as sharp as hers. So while her alarm bells are going off, he doesn't seem like he's a malicious guy. So nothing is indicating that he's a malicious guy. Nothing really, like, it all just kind of seems that way, I guess. But there's nothing concrete, like no concrete information, or if there is, I guess it's not big enough for people to really be solid on their opinions of him. Like, some people are against him, some people aren't. Some people have a weird feeling, some people don't. I guess like a little bit of everything. And so some of the people close to her might be trying to advise her to trust him. Like it might be a good opportunity to trust him, or just give him a chance with something like that. And she's like, I don't feel that, I don't believe that. And so that's coming through as confirmation for her to trust herself. First of all, no one knows her better than herself. Even though it's great to have a solid support team to keep you grounded and that you can rely on, be safe. But not everyone, like even if they're well-intentioned, not everyone has the same information that you do, you know? And so that's what I'm seeing that she needs to be aware of. I'm hearing God willing. God willing, or God help her. God willing, God help her. I'm not sure. Okay. That's honestly all. But we'll see a little bit more, I guess. See if anything else. I should pull these in case. Yeah. So I want to mention too that the videos that she's watched, I do feel she has really good discernment. She's aware of when people are picking up on the correct information and when information might be from darker entities. And what I see here, this is tied into her discernment when it comes to what people are able to perceive and not perceive. And this is in her real life, this is with readings online, and this is with what she hears herself. And it's that what I'm hearing from is a collective voice of Siddharth and her guardian angels, which, again, I should probably just put them all together because he is obviously a guardian angel in a lot of ways to her, is that just trust yourself. Don't waste time thinking too much and planning too much on things that you want to happen in your life. What he feels, so he's saying what I feel, what they're all saying is like, what we feel you should do, Shehnaaz, is really be more impulsive in the sense of being, like, maintaining your maturity, maintaining your wise self, like, still be wise about it, but don't be afraid to take that leap. Don't be afraid to just go for something when you feel compelled to. It doesn't always have to be structured out. It doesn't always have to be planned out perfectly and meticulously, and you don't have to be someone who has to know the outcome or to have everything perfectly laid out in order to know that it's a good prospect for you. And you can apply this also to this particular person that I was talking about that doesn't seem to have your best interest in mind. Like, they're wanting to get something out of you. If you feel immediately your first instinct is something that isn't in alignment with what other people are saying, that's perfectly fine, but no one knows better than you. And so don't doubt that part of you. Don't doubt that you are able to make the best decisions for you in your life, okay? Because what I see is a lot of time could potentially be wasted if you are always second guessing yourself, or if you keep putting things on the back burner and you want to be someone who plans, right? You want to be strategic about your next moves. You don't always have to be strategic. In some ways, that can rob you of the joy of discovery and the joy of the journey of the unknown, right? So long as you can trust yourself and have faith that you are always going to be able to catch yourself and the people around you are going to be supportive of you. You have the angelic realm supportive of you. You have Siddharth supporting you. They want you to go for it. Just go for it. And know that you will make the right decisions because you have a lot going for you. And the quicker that you make these decisions, and I'm not saying to rush, I'm saying if you feel compelled to do something, go for it. Just go for it. Just try it. Have fun. Approach life with more lightheartedness and air, like an airy sense to your life. Like to embrace that playful side of you, even when it comes to your career, right? Because that will really shine through and will make everything feel more like you're having fun than you being too serious, right? Because I really feel like the more that you put yourself out there and the more you take these opportunities and the more that you spend more time relying on your intuition than you are on, you know, problem solving or whatever real world kind of things that you have to work things out. Like, it's almost like, I think you know what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying. Now I'm switching to talk to Shehnaaz because it's a lot easier, but I think you guys have picked up on that by now. But the more that you are able to do that, the more opportunities will come for you and the more experiences will come for you. Don't sit yourself in the corner waiting to go up to bat. You know, like in the baseball, like baseball, you're all the people who are waiting out in line to bat. You can always be the superstar. You can always just be the one person going up to bat, right? Like, you don't have to just wait and recharge, wait and recharge, wait and recharge, wait and think about things and plan things, and on and on and on. I think at this point I'm just repeating myself and trying to do like this guy where he's just knocking on the ground over and over again. Don't keep knocking on the ground like I am. Go for it. You know, like this guy, like he's knocking and knocking, looking for answers, looking for information. He's not even paying attention and realizing these swords can fall on him, right? Like, he's just protecting his head. He's not even realizing all the other parts of him that are susceptible to this pain. It's like a self-inflicted self-sabotage. It's not going to be severe, but it's like little pricks. It's holding you back. You're going to be holding yourself back if you just don't go for it. Just hit the ground running and have fun. You have so much ahead of you. You have so much ahead of you. And you deserve to really have the full spectrum of living this life, this one life that you have as Shehnaaz, in the most expansive way, right? So that's my reading, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.